Oh man, look at somebody knocked him over. Who is it? It's Austin. Austin, who did this to you? Austin, who did this? Why they do you like that? They steal your food too? Austin got robbed. Austin got robbed. Let's flip Austin over. Oh man, it's heavy. Oh, he's all cracked up. Oh man, Austin's all messed up. What happened to you, Austin? Yeah, you better say thank you. This is the second time I've saved you, Austin. The second time. But you're all fucked up now. Look, your name's peeling off. He pushed it over? That guy? Huh? Wait, you trying to say Austin was harassing you? No, but his name is Austin. You trying to say? They're looking for Austin?
No, that's his robot.
Okay, that's Austin's robot. But who knocked Austin over? Who assaulted Austin?
I knocked it over because it's evil.
You assaulted Austin?
No, I didn't assault Austin. Don't put that on video. Evil in Jesus' name. Love you, boxer. Hey, shout out to Lauren Daigle. This is Truth Never King Software, born November 25th, 1994. I'm 28 years old. For the past 5 months, the CIA and the FBI has been trying to kill me. And
is Austin the FBI?
He stabbed me for a minute. Like, Jesus from Marie.
Is this the CIA?
Get my leg now.
Okay.
On video.
Okay.
I got stabbed with a Kmart for $5 dope. And then I fucking died in the back of the ambulance. I remember everything. And I woke up in the hospital.
But what does Austin have to do with it?
I don't fucking know. It says it's evil. It's got evil intentions and motives. You can see how it operates. The fruit. It says serve robots. Fuck robots, bro. You want to be relational, not religious. This is religion, man-made. You want to be relational and aim for the highest aim.
So you're saying Austin's a piece of shit?
I don't know who Austin is, bro. I don't know why you're coming at me with these fucked up cues, this fucked up thinking. I don't know why.
I'm trying to figure out why.
I'm trying to help the community.
Okay.
I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. I give to the.
Oh man,
guys! If you look, if you're having, the Doordash platform's tough for you, don't worry. Those things aren't coming soon.
That was wild.
If you notice too, guys, if you were, I know, hello to the Facebook group, hello to the YouTube community. Put your comments in the chat, even in the Facebook group. I should be seeing them. I didn't think I did, but I'm over here. Oh yeah, I am seeing them now. Okay. So we'll get into this and say hi in just a second, but I want to introduce Mac. David couldn't make it today because David is in Phoenix dealing with a new pair of pass client that will be coming on board. We'll talk about that next week and finish up the Q&A round 2 that we were going to do this week. And then we have a bunch of guests scheduled now through the end of the year. So, but today I've done things with Mac before. I've known Mac for years, actually, I think we met through Twitter initially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's in Portland and not Maine. He's in Portland, Oregon. And he works in the gig economy, has for a long time, been through the ups and downs, and has really kind of, if you guys saw him on the episode we did with Marco, Nova Dasher, both of them went through the DA. He's been through through it all with Doordash. I feel like you're one of those people that it's all happened to. All the BS, all the non-communication, all the, even when it's important and you need communication. I don't know. Thank you, Mac, for joining me.
Absolutely.
So I guess today we're going to, I see that there's a couple comments in here that, so here's a Facebook comment By the way, guys, if you click, there's a box that if you click on Facebook, it will say your name, so then I can talk to you. Otherwise, I can go to it after the fact on Facebook and see who you were, comment back. But it's nice to see the names. You don't need to. You can stay anonymous, but otherwise I won't know because the group is private, so it's definitely not trolls, unless you're trolling the group and you're in it. But so by the title of this video, or in the thumbnail, I said, I put, as DoorDash and other apps get tougher to earn on, the time to pivot to new opportunities is now. I don't know if this comment is related to that. And if so, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that your DoorDash market is doing good. I got to tell you, before Mac and I came on, we were talking a little bit about, how sometimes somebody will say some things about DoorDash and then I'll poke my head around and other markets say, no, it's not happening to me. Right now, it's happening to everybody, as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't know. All the markets when people tell me how bad it is right now, I have people that for years I've been in connection with all around the country, and I'll contact them to see if anybody can go, no, that's not true here, but everybody's going through this. And I got to tell you a very weird fact. Mac is very familiar with my website. You guys might not be. It's uberliftdrivers.com, ridesharerodeo.com forwards to there. I've been doing that since March of 2017. And in January or February of 2019, I posted an article about immigrants using people's Uber accounts illegally. 2019. Back then, it was like probably that week, it was like the biggest article on the website. For the last 3 weeks, it's been the number one searched thing on my page, and I have 4,500 articles on there. I mean, I'm telling you that since 2019, it's never been in the top 5, top 10. Right. And now it's been number 1 for 3 weeks. So even when I post every day, the new post doesn't even supersede it. I'm just saying it. I'm not like, guys, I'm not sitting here. This isn't political. I'm just pointing something out. That's the timing's strange. What's going on with these apps. Some of that might make a little sense to some people. Look, I'm not, I don't think am I being a jerk, Mac, by saying that too? Because I think we know this is happening.
Well, yeah, it's been in the news a lot too. It's one thing that my wife, she kind of keeps up to as far as sending me a bunch of stuff as far as news and all that stuff. Right. I just don't have the time to look over some of that. But we've been seeing a lot of the talk or information about DoorDash's, like the targeting of minorities and that type of stuff. As far as the way that their ads are going, it's like you can tell. It's like, come on. It's
and we all know. I mean, like, look. I mean, even when you were deactivated, you didn't go this route, and I would tell everybody, don't do this. But you can go get a DoorDash account for $50 on the dark web.
Right.
You can. I mean, like, and is it a scam? Who knows? Probably. But at the same time, like, I can tell you, like, not people that I talk to every single day, but I've actually spoken to people who are operating on fake accounts. So. Yeah. Some of them might work. It's like Instacart bots and stuff, but do you really want to, however you're going about it, not a good idea is my point. But, there's ways to do this if you're looking to earn some money. But yeah, moving on. Hey, Scrabble, what's up? What's up, Tommy? Nice to see you, man. What up, Traveler? And, okay, that was obviously about the video. By the way, guys, if you didn't notice in the video, the first guy just straight up robbed it. So the thing was broken open and then he's walking away. But that guy that was like getting crazy with it is, if you noticed, he was holding a plastic fork. He's like, I don't know. Who's this Austin? Like, and if later in the video, it's like his leg is really screwed up. So you can tell he was fighting with that thing to get in there, steal the food. But when he's talking to the guy, he's holding the plastic fork. And he's got a plastic bag in the other hand, like the trash. It's like, he's like, no, what, man?
It's evil.
Yeah. But I mean, this is what's happening. The bottom line is that people do a lot of crazy things to them. They ride them, they kick them over. These are the units themselves cost about 180,000 is what Starship Enterprises Technology says. So they can't be coming for our job. People are robbing them. People. I know that people put them in the trunk and go. I've heard these stories. Go take them out into the woods and leave them. I mean, like hiking trails. Can you imagine like somebody's like taking this cooler and like, just goes and puts it in the woods and says, "Screw you, robot."
Find your way back.
Right. And he's got food in it. So at night, a bear is going to open it. I mean, I don't know. I find these just incredibly ridiculous. This guy is a walking testimony. Yeah, he was.
Right.
Hi, Cynthia. Hi, even Oscar. So yeah, I mean, like we'll take advantage of this for a little bit here, guys, and we'll run like 30, 40 minutes tonight, and then we'll go back to part 2 tomorrow or next week. But yeah, so Mac, it just happened to be happenstance. Hey, Brian, what's up? What's up, Gary? So you and I just recently contacted, and you were pretty fed up.
Right.
I mean, like Max texted me, was like, if this crap doesn't end, I'm done. Sick of this crap. Like, and obviously it was a Doordash thing, but he multi-apped. So, but at the same time, like many, the majority of income probably comes from Doordash.
Yeah. Well, and I thought that the decrease, I mean, it was one of those things where we all know that as far as the income's coming down and stuff, but it just meant that we had to be out longer to meet those goals. But now it's when I can't even hit goals and everything in 16 hours.
Right.
That's tough. And I thought it was the customers, as far as the customers not tipping, dropping their tips and all that. But after I looked over a lot of my past deliveries, the customers are not tipping less. It's DoorDash pulling, because the majority of stuff I do is shop and deliver. That's where my bread and butter's been now for over a year.
Yep.
And DoorDash is actually lowering. I mean, I won't take anything under $10 now, or even before, but they're testing because it's like they're coming in at $9.75. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I don't care. I mean, it's a principle thing, and I know it means that I won't make the money maybe, and that may be part of why I'm not getting to the goals that I'm getting. But I've gotten to the point where I'm fed up. I'm not letting DoorDash actually manipulate me to the point to where they're going to continue. Because it's like if I take it at $9.75, what are they going to do next? They're going to try it at $9.50, and they're just going to keep dropping it because, like I said, the customers' tips are the same. They're not lowering them. So it's DoorDash. I know there's room in there because I've seen DoorDash's shop and delivers. Their base pay and everything is pretty high.
I think we're in that transition period, and I'm not, guys, don't get me wrong, because I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not saying that, hey, we're in this transition period and things are going to get better. That's not what I'm about to say. Maybe a little, but I think we're in a transition period where DoorDash is like, we need to make more money off these orders. Let's take it out of the drivers, but they just don't want to raise the prices, but they're going to get there.
Right.
They're going to get there, and that still might not raise the driver price back up. That's don't get me wrong. It's just right now it's like step one. Let's take it from the drivers and make the customers feel like they're saving a little.
Right. And I thought when they started taking EBT customers for shop and deliver, I thought that was going to really tank things. I mean, I do see, and I think that's probably a good portion of some of those, the $6 to $8 orders that are shop and deliver. Those are probably EBT customers. But like I said, I don't see the tips changing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the EBT SNAP thing with Instacart also kind of has me a little bit like, the only value I think Instacart has is its Caper Cart, which can't be very much. I mean, that it's a barcode scanner. You drop an item in and it says, oh, you put 2 soups in there, that's $3. Like, cool, you made a calculator and put it in a cart. Like, it's not technology, you're not like innovative. But then they have SNAP and EBT, and they're the first anything ever to have all 50 states with SNAP. which I think is interesting. But at the same time, here's something, and I know I'm stepping off a little bit with Instacart here, but here's something that it very much concerns me, because here's, in my market, we had 2 fleets. Now we're at 12 fleets of Kroger refrigeration trucks, and each fleet is 12. Last month we had 2, and it had been that way for 2 or 3 months. Now we have 12. We brought 10 more fleets in, 120 more trucks. They're 26-foot refrigeration trucks. You get in-store prices from King Soopers, Kroger. You get in-store prices. You can use digital coupons. You can use paper coupons. You can use in-store coupons. You can get your gas points.
Nice.
And you get it all delivered within 4 hours for $7 or for $5. If you want it in an hour, it's $7.
Dang.
Using in-store prices. So, okay, if there's that many refrigeration trucks and they believe in that it's working that much, yeah, there's still some overflow, but how much longer can Instacart do what they do? And maybe that's part of why they broke down to $4. I mean, we all were blown away when 8.7 went to 4.
Right.
Because we were like, what the hell are you doing? And the only thing that now I can use as a metric in my market is that, well, it's $5 for 4-hour delivery from Kroger and $7 for 1-hour delivery. Now Instacart's saying we're 4. Yeah, but you jack up the prices. You don't give me any of the discounts. I can't get my miles, or if maybe in other states that don't do miles, store points that help you in other ways. I don't know. But like, I use all those things. Like gas points are big with me. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, and people, obviously, if they're bringing in 120 over changing from 1 month to the next, they have more than faith in this market destroying Instacart. Right. So my thing became like, well, what is Snap then? Because I'm not trying to be mean, but like, Snap is a lot of people who donate their time. A lot of people who do volunteer work do get paid, but the ones who don't get next to nothing. And so they're coming to Instacart now, and base pay is on an order's $4. Like, I feel like they ask volunteers, hey, would you do this? And they're like, no. And now they're going to Instacart and going, hey, can you find us some people to do this? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, to me, I really feel like if you only did Instacart, and I don't know many people who do, but if you only did Instacart, I feel like you're going to be a nonprofit.
Right.
Like, you might as well try and qualify for one even.
Yeah.
Better tax breaks, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because you're not going to make any money. If somebody's on Snap is not tipping, and it's $4 for 80 items, that's an hour and a half of your time.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I understand that the companies need to, you know, cut their bottom line and stuff and be profitable.
Well, I'm just pointing out that, like, you know, here's Kroger's nationwide. I mean, here it's King Soopers again, or City Market, but
we have
in Michigan, where I'm from, it's Kroger. Yeah, you got them.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they run the Fred Meyers.
Yeah, I mean, once they use, Denver's a big testing market, so they're obviously doing this in bulk. But I mean, look, they're making, these were decisions, or these were moves they couldn't make during the pandemic and keep up. But now we're not there.
The thing that's I've been curious about, Safeway is, you know, that they're not Kroger based, but because like Fred Meyers is Kroger based out here, but Safeway and everything, that's Doordash actually has a contract through there, and Safeway does have their own in-store delivery. But I've been noticing, especially one of the biggest stores in my market, whenever I go through there, I go around the back side. It's just easier to bypass I have to deal with customers crossing and stuff. But I see all their trucks back there, and they've got at least a dozen or more trucks sitting back there. And I'm like, they're always sitting there. I'm thinking, are they not out doing deliveries?
Well, they could just be developing the market too. Like when our first 2 fleets were here, I'd see, like, you know, one of them that actually had, one of the stores that had a fleet is not far from me. And I noticed, you know, they'd go out in the morning and only 3 of the trucks were going out and the other 9 were there, kind of thing, in the bays. And I was like, what's going on here? And then, you know, give it 2 months, 7 were going out, 2 were left in the bay. Right. They were doing growth and seeing how quickly they can move all these apps out, because people were saying, I can still shop at those stores. Yeah, of course you can. They'll always use you for overflow and crap orders, and I mean, why would they get rid of that? They've established a relationship with grocery stores. They don't like the deal, but why would they break it?
Right.
Because if something went wrong with all their trucks, they still got a system in place.
Right. Exactly. I know one of my repeat customers that I haven't seen him forever, and I'm just assuming because it's one of those stores, and he was one of the customers I tried to get onto Dumpling, and he was the one that didn't like the hold on his money. But I haven't seen him in a couple months now, and I'm sure he probably moved over to the actual in-store delivery stuff because it's just, he doesn't have to pay the fees.
Right. I mean, and I know you were like lividly pissed, and you still are, about DoorDash. By the way, anybody in the chats, please put in thumbs up, thumbs down, any details you want to give about your market with DoorDash, specifically DoorDash. I'm curious. I know Mac is anybody doing good? And be honest. By good, I mean like above, like,
Well, see, like, okay, as an example, I used depending on if you're using active or, the whole dash time. But if we just go by active, I'm hitting, an average of $40 an hour, and, right at that upper threshold and everything. I mean, even if you factor in the overall, it'll drop it down to about 25 or 30. But when I'm seeing days like when I had texted
you mean multi-app or just DoorDash?
No, just DoorDash, just DoorDash. Okay. That's what I was used to, what I've been used to.
Got you.
Yeah. Well, when, and it's obviously it's taken longer and longer to hit those goals. But like when I texted you the other day, and I could not believe it, 10 and a half hours I was out there, and I came home with $49. And how much of it were you active? Probably just around 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a 10-hour day, and see, Mac knows how to do the math right. We talk about this, you guys, all the time, but you got to count the whole time you're out. You can't just count your work time.
Yep.
Because you're working by sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
So,
and I'd stay active with other things and stuff like that, but still I can't get fully into other projects or anything because then I have to bail. But yeah.
I mean, 40, oh Jesus, dude. So you made $4 an hour.
Yeah. That's what
I just, and then you had gas, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a nonprofit day.
Right. Well, see, and the other thing too, the catering. Okay. The catering orders have been, I used to, prior to when they made the whole high paying order type, those gems that they were putting out there. Prior to that and everything, I was seeing an average 3 to 4 of $20 and up orders a day. I would get, 1 or 2 for breakfast, 1 or 2 for lunch, 1 or 2 for dinner. Now, obviously I don't, because I'm not up there. My acceptance hovers between single digits and maybe go high as like 20%. But it's one of those things where now I'm like lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere.
Well, let me ask you this then. But if I remember right, you were never a high acceptance rate guy.
Nope. No.
I mean, are you still do you still keep just that under 10% kind of?
Yeah.
Because those are the best dashers. I mean,
yeah, my average.
I'm just curious,
right,
like if you know any other dashers who are top dashers, are they doing
I talked to them
in your market?
No, but I've talked to a few of them here lately, and they are definitely, or brainwashed into thinking that they need to keep that acceptance up there to keep that high priority. And I try to tell them, I'm like, yeah, but you're also high priority for those crappy orders too.
Right. Which crashes your acceptance right away because you're seeing more. Now you're seeing more than you. So it's designed by default to bring them right back down to your level quickly.
Right.
Because they're like, I see more than you. Yeah. Are you declining a lot? Yep. Well, then see soon.
Right. Exactly. Well, I remember where I was going with before. It was the catering orders. I'm seeing more and more catering orders that don't pay hardly anything now. It's like, because DoorDash got us so used to seeing that okay, if it says catering order, we know that chances are it's going to be a good order. It's, you know, it's at least $100 order. So the chances of a good tip or anything are higher than say on another type of an order. But now I've been seeing catering orders coming in that there's no way those things are over $100. In fact, an Einstein Bros place out here with bagels, and they an order went out the other day and everything, and I was like, it fit in my DoorDash bag, and I was like, is this it? I was told I needed to bring my catering or bag in, and that's usually $100 or more. And they're like, oh no, there's no way this is $100 worth of food. So I know that store specifically, it's probably just initiation. Like the customer is actually going to a catering probably location on their website, and it's just going through as a catering order. I'm sure that that's not something that DoorDash is purposely doing as far as to trick us, but you know, who knows? I just know that I'm seeing, like I actually called the customer out the other day on their tipping, which I don't normally do, but I'm at the point now where I'm like, they're pushing me so far that I just don't care. I just don't care anymore. And so I was like, I called her out, called this person out. Right. Well, I called her out on, you know, their bad tipping, and she actually replied back. I mean, I wasn't rude about it because I know you. I know you
right. Couldn't have been rude.
You're
professional. You're strong worded.
Right. But it also goes against, I mean, it's not something I do. So, but anyway, I got fed up and I called her out on the low tip. I mean, it was a $5 tip on a $270 order. And she just came back and said, oh, I apologize. We're a nonprofit. I tipped you at the max that we were allowed to tip. And I was like, I just left it at that. I started to type out a really snarky reply, but then I'm like, okay, that's going to go a little too far.
You know,
and so,
I know, like I'm already thinking some really rude, I'm already thinking rude responses for you. I'm thinking like, well, I'm not a nonprofit.
Exactly.
Why don't you order one less item and tip me?
Right.
Give me a piece of food, man. I'm a nonprofit too, I guess. God.
Yeah.
Damn,
I just can't understand the mentality that some people have.
Also remember that these companies did an amazing job. You've been doing this a long time too, like me. They did an amazing job without just putting it in the customer's face every day at letting the customers have a feeling that we're paid very well. Mm-hmm. Even at our worst points. Like they just, right. And I'm not saying they advertised it. They just have always been very good and clever about the wording to the point where it's like, hey, you can tip them extra, but you know, they do really right. well. It's kind of like the feeling, the vibe they put out.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's my wife brought up a good point the other day. It's also about those catering orders. And for instance, like from Panera, there's a good chance that some customers, because they're ordering and they're starting that order on Panera's website, they may just think that it's a Panera employee. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll tip them, but you know, they're getting paid by Panera. So why should I have to, you know, tip this huge amount type of thing? So there's that too. DoorDash is not very good at communicating that.
And they're not transparent. They're not good at much, man. No. Deborah here says, I'm good with DoorDash. I have not had to decline any orders since I was reactivated with them. I have a lot of shopping orders and my acceptance is 90. I forget what market you're in, Deborah. If you don't mind, put it in there. I'm curious. Because here's Ivanoska. I know she's in Chicago. And she says, last time I dashed, I did $26.75 in an hour and a half. So I decided not to waste with them anymore. Been doing Uber and just got delivered that. Yeah, so did Kim. Kim, Side Money Plans. We're going to be talking about that tonight. She did one delivered that today. 3 Paraworks today. So Para Scream, 3 Paraworks in a day. And she did her first delivered today.
Cool.
So gonna be
well, if it wasn't for Curry,
find out.
If it wasn't for Curry today and everything, I probably wouldn't have been
here. Yeah. So Curry saved your day. Because otherwise you would have sat out there and kept fishing. And you know, this is that point where normally I'd say, well, Mac, maybe I heard that from other people too, but maybe it's just your markets right now. But again, I go back to guys, I've been talking to a lot of people. Gary Middleton's in here. He probably can look at even his stats and see it. I've read articles about the order volume being down for one. And as I mentioned, you know, is it a direct tie? I have no idea. But the fact that, you know, I'll just try and bring it up here so you guys can actually see. I'll try and share my screen so you guys can see.
Another contributing factor out here in Portland is they have recently opened up for new dashers. So they're doing the referral bonuses again and everything. And I haven't seen that in years. So they're flooding the market basically. So that's another thing that's why it's tough.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. But like, let me share this screen because I got to tell you, this article's from 2019. Okay, and back then it got a lot of views. It hasn't been up in my top 10 videos on my website. There's a post every day on the website, and it hasn't been there since 2019. But for the last 3 weeks, if you're looking, let me make sure it's up. There it is. If you're looking at the most viewed down here, this Uber Eats, riders are renting their jobs to illegal immigrants to allow them to work without record checks. Now, if I click that, I just want to show you because we all know what that article is. Look at the date, January 6th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this isn't an article that came out that I did a month ago. This is 4.5 years ago. And and for the last 3 weeks, it's been the most popular article on my website. And there's 4,500 articles. I'm just pointing out that's weird, right? Because Max again, I'm just doing some math and some honesty. Max in a blue state, New York's a blue state. They know that this is going on. You know, and I just wonder, you know, like what are people? I mean, because I'm not, you know, I'm just saying that a lot of people don't have the ability to work, even and the amount of people coming into the country is more than ever. So it's like, there really isn't work. This is a way they can work.
Right.
It's not legal, but it's a way they can work. You know, I mean, I know.
Well,
yeah, there were stories about people who are renting out their accounts to these people, like so that they want $100 a day just for using it.
Oh wow, yeah.
No vehicle, nothing. You got to have a vehicle. You're doing it. But I mean, there's things like that going on. So I mean, like it's weird, and I think that mixed with the fact that we're in a recession, there's inflation. The job market is not great. You know. I mean, W-2 wise, anything wise, like nothing's really jamming. And everybody I know was all talking about is it September, October, where every year everybody starts getting excited after summer. They're like, well, October's around the corner and that's when it starts kicking ass. Like everybody was talking about this. And now I'm literally hearing from most people that October is worse than the past 4 months.
Yeah. It is.
Which is normally unheard of once school's back in session. I don't know. But she's in Minneapolis.
Okay. I'll actually start asking some of the merchants too that I have some good relationships as far as to find out from them if the order volumes have changed.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Rodney? What's up, Gary? I think I saw some other people popping in here. What's up, Bud Soda? I see other people in here now too. I see you guys are having a conversation as well. But yeah, so Mac today did curry. Kim did all these side apps where those are off brands where normally in a day for Kim, not even every day, but in a day for Kim, she might have one of those. But she's trying to make whole days out of them now because DoorDash, even Kim, and the reason I'm pointing Kim out and singling her out is because Kim, we know this about her. She says it, but it's true. Kim lives in an amazing market for gig work. Like at the worst of times, usually that's the first person I can check in with. Kim, how is your market? Oh, it's still fine. Even if everybody else is hurting, that's usually the first person I go to. And she's like, dude, DoorDash sucks. She's never said that to me in my life.
Right.
She's like, it's horrible. There's nothing on here, or nothing she'd take. And it's amazing how quickly it's falling. Like,
well, it's getting to a point to where I like, I feel like I'm being singled out. It's like, are they ghosting me?
Yeah.
It's like,
right. That's why I was trying to wonder if top dasher matters. Kim is a top dasher though, and she's saying it's crap.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm to a point. I really don't think it matters at all anymore. Right. I know they have the tiers. I know they do things, but I think that Like if you grab some triple diamond plus Buddha, it's energized, beaming order, and you call it a banger, I think you're going to be penalized and not get some good ones after it.
Right. Well, this week's actually the first week in a very long time I haven't actually been Top Dasher, and that's only the shop and deliver. See, they've in the market here in Portland, if you do a minimum of 13 shops in a week, you're automatic, you're Top Dasher for the next week. And so you just basically have to make sure you hit that 13 shops in a week, and you can keep Top Dasher. And so last week last week was that was the hell week.
Scrabble has a good point here. You know, I've been asking, just like you were saying, you were going to ask. So I've been asking my merchants, and they say the volume is down, but overall, a lot of people are picking up their orders. You know, and actually, I've talked about this before. My son and I almost never, like, I've used Uber Eats like on the customer side, maybe 10 times total in my life. Like, it's not something we use. We just don't. I've used it twice when I'm out of town, like another 8 times. Just don't use it. It's too expensive. But we used it. When was it? About a week ago, maybe. And when the tip amount comes up, it has, and Uber does a better job. It defaults it, I think, at 18%. So it says 18, 22, 25 other. But then I got to tell you guys something that really pissed me off. And I actually had to call the Uber critic. By the way, I'm going to give you guys this number. Whenever I think of it, I always think I need to give it to you guys, because if you guys ever, from years back when I did rideshare, I couldn't deal with even then how, like, trying to get a real person on the line. So I'm not supposed to share this at all, but I'm sharing this. So this is the Uber critical safety response line.
Nice.
And if you call that, you get a person within 1 minute, and you can just be like, oh, I don't know a number, because they're like, this is critical response. You're just like, oh, I don't know. I just have a problem with my order. They'll handle it. The number is 800-285-6172. 800-285-6172. So don't use any other Uber numbers. You get a person in the United States on the phone in 1 minute with this.
That's so nice.
I'm just advertising for Uber. But yeah, I mean, with that order though, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just, I did need to get in touch with them, because I noticed something that might actually relate to tip baiting, and it blew me away. I understand this kind of stuff great, right? From the driver's side, I know the app. So when the Uber thing, after it was delivered, I wanted to up the tip. Okay. I wanted to add to the tip, and I had already nicely tipped them, but I hit edit, and it went to what do you want the tip to be? And I hit cancel, because it said, what do you want to add to the tip? Or what do you want the tip to be? It was worded weird. So I hit cancel, because I wanted to go back a screen, see what I tipped, and then decide how much more I was going to do again. Because I was like, wait a minute, it threw me off. So when I hit cancel, it removed the tip.
Wow.
The first tip, not the bonus, which I haven't even entered, the tip. And then there was literally, and even the agent agreed, I went back in there after you do that edit, and it's not save, it's cancel. That usually means even if I entered 500 cancel, it's not going to be on there. I didn't hit save. Save was below it. So I went back out and went back into the order, closed the app, did every possible thing there is, looked it up on Google, how to do it. There is no way once you do that to get back into the tip. So they got tipped $0.
Ouch. Wow. Yeah.
And I had Uber on the phone, and then they were literally like, this is the kind of, that phone number I gave you. They actually went into the account, looked, we did it together, and they're like, you're right. I'm like, because you just tell me. I'm like, I'll tell you the amount. That's fine. You can enter it. I'm like, but if you're just entering it, and they said, no, I'd actually have to go into your account to do it. I said, okay, let's do it. And they went into my account, and they're like, wait, why can't I do this? I'm like, that's my point. So just so you know, some people who tip bait might not be tip baiting. But I did tell the person, in the end, it was like a 30-minute call, while I'm just trying to order food and eat. I did end up giving the person a really good tip, and I believe they added to it too. Like I said, just at the end, I was like, just $25. And then they were like, we'll give them a bonus too. I don't know if they will, but I honestly did feel like she had invested enough time where she was going to add something.
Right. Cool.
So hopefully they did. But I'm just wanted you guys to know that, because if you get tip baited, it might have just, I mean, like I'm technology, like I can use it. Like a lot of people can't.
Right.
So to those, but yeah. So today you did Curry, all these other apps. I mean, what are you making of it now? Are you going to keep turning on DoorDash and sitting there? Are you going to start onboarding to more? Are you going to?
Yeah, I'm until I have an actual replacement that can hit my goals, I have to kind of stick with DoorDash. And I do have other things. It's just nothing can match or get me the bulk of what DoorDash can. And that's why it's been tough and pretty disappointing and everything to be sitting out there for so long and not make anything. But no, there's a few things. Like one of the AI stuff that I'm doing is actually, if I had more time, that's the part. And that's the other part that just infuriates me so bad, is because I'm wasting so much time on trying to meet goals and pay bills. And I would rather have that time to develop out some of the actual side hustles that I'm trying to do. Because that's what I said. It's pretty bad that when my side hustle is my main, and I can't even make it work.
Right, but you got to be able, right? But like many people, to do what you want to do, you need to be able to make the money on these apps to get to your goal. And now it's like, I don't know. I guess there's a part of me that's just hoping they'll flip here soon. But one thing that is definitely helping is there's more local places opening up, which before I used to think, dude, why bother? You'll either kill yourself for 2 years and sell it out to one of the companies and they'll screw you over, or you'll go out of business in 3 months. Why bother? Now I think it's a great time to strike. These catering apps are killing it. Easy Cater, Food Fetch, like they're all getting tons more work. I mean, people don't want to, the businesses don't want to work with DoorDash and Uber anymore.
Yeah, there's too many problems.
So, I mean, to me, if order volume's down, and we know it is, that number's been tossed around. In fact, tonight we're talking about, is it 10 million? It was, so I don't remember how long it was for, but Grubhub in the last 3 months has done 10 million less orders than this time last year.
Wow. Yeah.
And they're on Amazon still. So like they even have that bump. Like nothing's helping them. They're done. You know, and I'm sure Amazon's getting ready to kick their butt out the door too. Like, okay, well,
I haven't touched
didn't
it.
work.
That's one app that I have to, after we get off this call, I'll probably actually open it up, see if I'm still active.
Yeah. See, I got deactivated from Grubhub in that nationwide, you're all deactivated.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, I did too.
And I didn't even call them because I don't do any. Like I was like, no way, dude. I'm not calling to get reactivated. You guys send me like one a year. I hear that stupid cowbell go off, and I'm like, no.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I do pretty well with Curry. My friend Dana in Boston does really well with Curry. Like, I mean, the orders are pretty full all day. So I was
gonna say, is there somebody that I should talk to over at Curry as far as just to find out the market? Because I'm looking at possibly getting it. I mean, I need to get a better vehicle. The vehicle that I'm at, it's on its way out. And so if I get a new vehicle, I want to make sure I have something that puts me in a better bracket for the Curry orders.
So I'll tell you right now, for all markets, what Curry it loves, and it's kind of cool because most people are like, do I have to get a box truck? Do I have to get a Sprinter van? They're so damn expensive, blah blah blah. Right now, the thing that Curry needs the most are pickup trucks with pipe racks.
Okay.
In almost every market. But yeah, there's somebody I can put you in touch with who can look into your market specifically too.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I want to make sure the demand's there before.
But I mean, like, honestly, like if I had a pickup, I would buy a pipe rack in a heartbeat right now.
Right.
because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they cost something, but pipe rack, I mean, it's not like getting a car. A pipe rack isn't that much money.
Right.
So
Or
I don't know.
yeah, maybe secondary markets too, like
Yeah,
Craigslist
like
or something like that might have stuff like
Facebook
that.
Marketplace,
Right.
anything like that. I mean, you might find it for $100, man. $200, you know.
Right.
I don't know. But I know that was something I was looking at because we were looking at cargo and sprinter van option, and they kept saying, dude, actually get a pickup and a pipe rack. That's what you need if you really want to have a better grab on the market.
You can still even tow trailers and stuff with it too if you need to.
Yeah. But the pipe rack thing is huge. Ferguson
Right.
Plumbing's a nationwide client with Curry. So
It
Ferguson orders I see come onto the Curry driver's side, not onto the Curry bidding side. Like I have Gig Geezer on a lot. He's got a cargo van. Brian was in here earlier. He has a cargo van.
Yeah, I'm sure they're a lot easier to put a 14-foot ladder on than my Subaru was.
Right, but they don't come through like we see on Curry. They're not like the driver app. You make a bid.
Okay.
So you see the order board and you make a bid.
I see. Okay.
But I mean, you learn how it works and stuff pretty quick. And I mean, the bids, it's not like other apps where the bids kind of suck or whatever. On this, you do up your game with Curry. It's just a different way of doing the app that we're not used to.
I see.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like that order that I took today and everything. I would have liked to have had more money, and I've seen Curry offer more money, but it's one of those things. If I didn't take it, somebody else would have grabbed it, and I knew that the amount of money that I was going to make in that time, there's no way I could have matched that with DoorDash.
So
not even close.
By the way, as long as you get full insurance, because I asked them this, Curry is okay with you renting a cargo or sprinter van for a month. Because that's what I was thinking about doing at first. Like, yeah, it cost me, but I was thinking about renting one, trying it out.
Right.
Before I buy, kind of thing. You know, I mean, yes, it won't be cheap to rent a cargo van for a month. But at the same time, I mean, Tony rents his Tesla.
$900 a month.
Tony rents his Tesla to do rideshare and makes more money than other people I know doing rideshare.
I would actually love to rent an electric. I don't have the way to charge it.
Right. I'm talking about if you wanted bigger last mile stuff, though. You also qualify for apps that I can't get on, even that I've been trying to get on. Like I'm on a bunch of last mile couriers, but there's ones that the bigger vehicles let you on. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm hoping all of you have enough apps, like Kim's always said, on board to everything. But I hope you guys have enough apps. I hope people are surviving out there because it's rough. And especially if you're counting on 1 to 2 apps that you become so comfortable with, and usually one of those is DoorDash. To be honest, with most people, I mean, I can't tell you the amount of time I joke about this sometimes. Like the amount of times I've asked people, like, what app do you hate the most, hands down? DoorDash. What app do you use the most? DoorDash.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
I mean, it's, it is what it is, but they have the market share. They have more volume. Even though it's hidden and it's messed up, you do have an ability, I believe, in most markets to earn more with DoorDash. Sadly, but right now, I don't think that's the case. I've seen a lot of people talking about Uber Eats, even that used to go, I don't ever do Uber Eats. Now they're doing that. I mean,
well, I just hit my 40th delivery on Uber Eats. That's how little that I had actually used Uber Eats.
Right. Yeah. But I guess my point is, like, you're on a bunch of apps, so I mean, like, you'll be able to kind of play around, but
pivot, find out what's going to work.
But I feel lucky to be multi-apping. I feel lucky to be on all the last mile apps I'm on, and that's actually the space I prefer too. So for me, it's pretty nice because it's longer hauls, and bigger money. I get to write the miles off. There's just so many advantages to these last mile apps.
That even before longer runs
with DoorDash, I was already moving out of that space. Like, I just think ParaWorks, ParaPass. I mean, ParaPass is only has a couple things going in a couple markets, but as it comes out, ParaWorks is like everywhere now, period.
Right.
So, I mean, as that grows, Delivered. I've never tried delivered that, but I've heard mixed things on it. I've heard that when you start, you can do pretty good. It's one of those, but delivered seems to be like it does really well for people in a lot of markets. So I guess my advice to you is, if you want to do laundry, there's Hamper, there's Launder, there's Sudshare, there's 3 laundry apps. I guess what I'm saying is it's time to find other apps, even if you have the primaries. If you do Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, sweet, go find 10 more that are not the giants, and onboard to them and see what you can do. If you used to do point pickup and it sucks, put it back on your phone, see where it's at.
That's good. Yeah.
It might be time to, that's another thing. It might be time to re-upload apps or reinstall apps that you never deactivated yourself from. It got so crappy. You're like, I don't even want that taking up room on my phone, but put it back on your phone, see what's happening. Maybe things have changed because things don't seem to be going the right direction with DoorDash. Maybe things will, and I hope they do flip here soon. But I think we all need to be on all kinds of apps right now.
Yeah. Well, I haven't actually checked them yet, but I do see advertising marketing for it quite a bit. But the FedEx and UPS even they're contracting out. So contract type drivers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I did apply for FedEx though. I mentioned that to you.
Yeah. Josh is talking about his apps are DraftKings and FanDuel.
Nice.
Right, unless it's a bad week, Josh, those can be pretty profitable. But that's what it's coming to, man. I see Gary Middleton again in here, but I was going to ask Gary if he could make an app that while you're sitting in a lot waiting for a DoorDash, you see 200 before you take 5. That's like a slot machine, and it's like a DoorDash slot machine, and you just sit there and keep touching it for something to do. And you see how little it pays out. Damn it. And then you get a banger, and then you're like, sweet. And then the next one you go bankrupt again.
At least have fun during it. Yeah.
Right. Make a joke of it, but at the same time realize it's not that funny. But yeah. Hey, Mac, thanks for joining me, because we like to keep this spot filled. You guys, thanks for joining us. We'll be back again next week, but I didn't want to not have the show this week, and especially with the Facebook group. They were in here in the beginning. I don't know if they're still watching. I can't ever get a Facebook count from StreamYard, guys, but I hope you're watching. Last week's was played about 200 times, so we're good. Nice. We're coming back. I've been snipering people out of the group on Facebook, because that was my permission, was just take them out. And I was like, all right, so I'm like, everybody's getting a fair shake with me, but if you start being an ass, you're gone. Sorry, I'm just not going to do that.
Right.
That's what they asked me to do, and to be honest, it needs to be done. There are people who used to post, and we have 16,000. They're not as active anymore, and there used to be these people that posted. And then now these other people come in on every post and are just like, screw you, that sucks, and you suck, and then really out of line. So I'm kicking everybody out, and now the old people are posting again. So it's exactly what it should be doing.
Yeah, it's one of those, Facebook's hasn't been something I've done in a while, just because it did get toxic. Got to a point to where I was becoming a mean guy on there. Yeah. And I was like, nope. I hate
Facebook too, but I just do it for 3 groups.
Yeah, well, there's a necessary evil in parts of what having the marketing and stuff.
Yeah. But you guys find new apps. If you need ideas, you can email me, Steve@RideshareRodeo, or Steve@withpara.com. I listed off in UDM's live the other night. I listed off 32 apps that nice. About 25 of them he had never even heard of. So I do have a big arsenal of apps, that some of which I haven't even onboarded to. And what I've told people is, hey, take this huge list and check in your market if they're there, because some of them aren't even in mine and whatnot, but check if they're there. I'll tell you the ones I'm on. Maybe I'll make a post on it too. But yeah, I see social media is toxic. Twitter's toxic. or X. Yeah, I mean, dude, I love it when people are like, well, I'm on this one. That's not as toxic. These days, they're all equal. Right. And we're about to hit the political stride season. So trust me, this thing ain't getting cleaner. Like,
no.
So, but yeah, Mac, thank you for joining.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And thank you all for joining. And we'll see you back here next week. All right, guys. Later.
See ya.